Here's a question for skeptics. John 6:27 says, "If Jesus is not God, why are there miracles in his name?" It says, "For him hath God the Father sealed with his own divine seal of miracles." Why would God do this if Jesus is not God? Well, that's exactly what I want to look at right now. John chapter 6, beginning in verse 14, it says, "When the people therefore saw the miracle that Jesus did, they said, 'What a sign! What a miracle!' But Jesus said to them, 'This is not a miracle. This is the work of the Father. The Son can do nothing of himself. And this is why the Father only gave him the seal of miracles.'" Do you see that? John 6:14. "When the people therefore saw the miracle that Jesus did, they said, 'What a sign! What a miracle!'" What are they talking about? Miracles. Jesus just fed 5,000 people with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. That's a miracle. But then Jesus says, "Don't call it a miracle. Don't attribute it to me. This is the work of the Father. The Son can do nothing of himself. So if Jesus isn't God, then who is? Because he just did something that is nothing less than divine. Only God could do it. And what is it that God did? He gave his Son the authority to do miracles. For him, God the Father has given the seal of miracles. Let me say it again. Only God can do miracles. And John chapter 6, verse 14 tells us that Jesus did miracles. Therefore, Jesus is God. Or how about this? Who else but God could have raised Lazarus from the dead? Or how about this? Who else but God could have calmed the storm? Or how about this? Who else but God could have caused the fig tree to wither and die? You see, Jesus did all these things. And if Jesus is not God, then we have no other option but to conclude that God the Father performed these acts through Jesus. But that's impossible, because the Father doesn't do anything unless he does it through his Son, because the Son is the Father in bodily form. So if Jesus is not God, then we have to conclude that John 6:27 is absolutely correct. For him, God the Father has sealed with his own divine seal. In other words, God the Father has officially stamped Jesus with his own divine stamp of approval. And he did this by giving him the power and the authority to perform miracles. And there's no other explanation for these miracles other than to say that Jesus is God. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe so you never miss out when we upload new videos. Also, make sure to share this video so that other people can see it. Until next time, be blessed.